This is J Rock, and you're listening to The Shakedown. All right, Giants fans, we're going to interview New York Giants rookie defensive tackle Jay Bromley. But he's not here yet, but once he gets on the phone, we're going to cut over to him and interview him. So in the meantime, we're going to discuss whatever Giants stuff is on deck.
No doubt. Main thing I wanted to ask him, I think it's gonna be my first question is when I looked at his collegiate stats and like his sophomore and his junior year, both those years he had like 5.5 tackles for loss, and then when he went to the senior year, he had a breakout senior year. He had 42 tackles, 14.5 tackles for loss, 14.5, and 3 forced fumbles.
True.
You can't deny them 3 forced fumbles. You can't leave that out. But my question is going to be like, what the hell happened in that senior year to make him break out like that? That's some domination right there.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, he's on the phone now, so we're gonna switch over to Jay Bromley. How you doing today, man?
How you doing? I'm good.
What's going on?
Yeah, we appreciate you coming on the show, man. Spend a little time with us.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
All right, we got myself. We got 2 co-hosts. We got Shakes and Black Fire. We're just gonna ask a couple questions, man. Get you out of here real quick.
Mhm.
All right, what's going on, Jay?
Not much, man. Just got through the workout. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Happy to have you on the show.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. You wanted to ask the first question, Jay, bro?
Yeah, man. Just a little break the ice a little bit, man. Who you having winning the Super Bowl?
I got even though my boy Chan plays for the Patriots, I want to see him get a ring, but I feel like I love defense, and I feel like Seattle's had the best defense for a couple years now. It would be great to see him do it, repeat.
Oh, all right. You played with the Jones brothers, right?
I played with Chandler Jones. Art left right before I got there.
Oh, okay. All right. So let me get into these Giants questions. You grew up a Giants fan, right?
I guess kind of. Like, I didn't really start, watching football until I got to high school. But
okay.
When I got to high school, I remember watching the Giants in the Super Bowl, at my teammate's crib. So ever since then, I was a Giants fan.
All right. So was it crazy when they picked you in the draft?
Yeah, it was crazy because and they never talked to me. I thought if I was going to be a New York, player, I was going to be a Jet because I had went to their facility and worked out with them. Actually, the Giants and the Jets wanted me to work out for them on the same day, but I couldn't do it because it was around the same time. And then the Jets were kind of more flexible, so I went with them. And when I got the call on draft day, it was crazy.
All right. Did you think you was gonna go that high, in third round?
I didn't know. Honestly, before the draft, you can get thrown a lot of different ways. Especially when you look online, you look at where players are ranked after the season and everything like that. If I had any advice to tell anybody coming out, I would say don't pay attention to any of that because, unless you're a top 10 pick, none of that stuff really matters. But
Okay.
It was crazy because, it seemed me as, going, 4 to 6. But then as we got closer and closer to the draft, talking with my agent, he was like more and more teams started to like me earlier. And I was just like, hey, let the ball fall where it may.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna throw it over to Black. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, what's going on? What's going on, Jay? You know what I'm saying? It's Black Friday, brother. You know what I'm saying? Representing Queens, brother. I understand what's going on.
Already.
What's happening?
Chilling, man, chilling.
First question for you is outside of the facility, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you guys, like, huddle up and eat at? What's, like, the favorite eatery out there in Jersey or back home in New York?
Oh, man, I got to say the place where I like to eat, one of the best places I like to eat is BBQs in 42nd Street. That is definitely a place where we like to go. I mean, and get some wings, you know, or what have you. It's definitely a place where we like to go. But out here, Houston's, you know, is a great spot. We like to, over the course of the season, we go to a few different spots, man. I was just learning a lot from these older guys, just trying to figure out where to eat out here. So they got a lot of good spots out here in Jersey.
No doubt, no doubt. And you know, with you being, you know, your alma mater, Syracuse, you know, the upcoming draft is coming along, and you know, we just wanted to know what guy do you see coming out of the draft, you know, coming out of your alma mater that you think will be an impact player, or you know, in the future will be an impact player?
We got a good little bunch of players, man. A bunch of sleepers coming out of Syracuse. I think, you know, Darrell Eskridge, you know, he's probably the most highly profiled, you know, player coming out this year. You know, the safety, you know, my boy, he's a great player. But a lot of under the radar guys like Prince Tyson Gully's a dog, and he's just a dog. And a lot of people might not know about him, but they will sooner or later. You know, you got Dyshawn Davis, the outside linebacker. You got Cameron Lynch, who's probably the most well-rounded out of the whole Syracuse draft class this year that people don't even know about just because he's undersized. But, man, Micah Robinson, you got a dude like Robert Welch that's just a great hard worker, that's just overachiever, but he's a freaking great guy. It's so much, man. It's so much stuff that you can't measure out of this Syracuse class.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's what I was looking to hear. I was looking for some of them names. All right, now give me your NFL comparison of yourself. Who do you model yourself, your game after? What would you say your NFL comparison would be like?
Oh man, that's kind of tough, man. That's kind of tough. But who I think I can play like, or you know, given the, you know, working hard and everything. I don't want to throw out stuff because I don't want to shoot too high and I don't want to shoot too low. Yeah. But like, I feel like the Seward and McCoy, like those guys would just you know, mess stuff up. They just like wreak havoc, you know, one way or another. And I feel like if I play the way I know I can play and just get focused on that, that's kind of the strength of my game. It's not so much as always playing blocks sometimes, you know, which you have to do at this level, but just wreaking havoc, just making sure, you know, messing up offensive schemes and knocking blockers off and making running backs cut faster than they want to. I would say like those penetrators or like a Sheldon Richardson type player. Like those guys, when I watch film, I studied those guys when I was in college, you know, so it made me better. Even when me and Sheldon Richardson was both in college together, I studied him. You know, once I hear a name that people are talking about, I study him so I can get better.
Wonderful, wonderful. I got two more questions for you, brother. Which offensive lineman on our team, the New York Football Giants, has blocked you the best or has given you the most hard time off the line?
Oh man, I would have to stay in the alma mater. I have to go with my boy Justin Pugh, man. Me and him, we go at it every single day where we have the opportunity to, especially if I'm on a scout team and I'm playing the left defensive end and we're going at it all practice. The thing about us coming from Syracuse and playing together so long and coming from the coaching staff we came from, all we know is go hard. All we know is, you know, we don't have a 50%. We know 100%, you know, it's hard to slow us down. So that's good when you're working with somebody like that where you ain't really got to temper yourself because you know they're going to give exactly as much as you're going to give. You know, when you're going against those older vets, you know, that have been in the league a little longer, sometimes they want you to slow it down. And if you're going too hard, it might be a little too much. So, you know, it's different.
Okay, all right. Last question for you, brother. Which NFL personnel, via coach or player, has pulled you to the side and given you the most tutelage, the most schooling, whether it be the classroom or on the field?
As far as my coaches, really it's been, I would say, a joint work with a lot of different coaches, man. But I would have to say it's not even like NFL coaches. More so it's my college coach. I had a college coach, Jimmy Brumbaugh. He actually is the D-line coach in Kentucky right now. And he coached me for 2 years, my first 2 years in Syracuse, just trying to teach me a lot of fundamental things that, you know, would have helped me at this level. And then I didn't have the opportunity to get coached by him my last 2 years. I got coached by another good D-line coach and Coach Dallas of Syracuse. But I talk to him to this day, and just working on the fundamentals of the game and whether it be pad level and just attacking the pad and just, you know, being fast out of my stance. Like those things I worked with before I came to the Giants, and the things I look for working with before next season so I can have a much improved second year.
No doubt, brother. I appreciate you.
All right.
Wow.
Hey, Jay, this is Shakes, host of the
Going on?
Shakedown. Hey, man,
Do it.
chilling, man. I'm the most Team Bromley dude on here. Just I'm not trying to throw my boys under the bus, but
that's all good.
It's more predicated to me having high expectations for you.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at your collegiate stat, and your senior year you broke out for 42 tackles, 14.5 tackles for loss, and 3 forced fumbles. What was so different about that season? I mean, granted, the seasons before you still had well over 5.5 tackles for loss, so that's good. But what was it about that senior season?
Honestly, man, you know what's crazy? I just look back at I'm a guy that I like to look at what people say about me. I like to look at, you know, it's hard not to, you know. I like to look at those things. It's motivation to me. It motivates me to get better. And then, because I only had 5 tackles my rookie year, so I look back at those. I look back at my season in Syracuse. I look back at my freshman year, I had 8 tackles. Then my sophomore year, I had 30 tackles. Then my junior year, I had 32 with 5.5. Then my senior year, I had 42 with 14.5. So it just made me realize that everything's a process. And as far as my senior year, what was really big for me was, one, writing down my goals and striving for them every single day, wanting to be one of the best defensive tackles in the nation, and having a mentality of I'm the best. Like, I felt like I wanted to be the best defensive tackle on the field, period, no matter what game I played in. I don't care if we was going against Pittsburgh with Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald knows this. That's my boy. I told him I wanted to outplay him every single time. That was just my mentality. Like, I thought I believe I'm a dog, and when I'm on that field, you ain't gonna block me every single play. And if you block me every single play, then you double team me every play.
That's good, because that brings me up to this question: like, what techniques are you learning to do in this off season to get disengagement from blockers? I know it just started, but what do you want to focus in the off season on that?
Pad level. The key for me this off season really is pad level and my flexibility, making sure that I'm flexible, you know, my ankles, knees, and hips, where I can anchor blocks and really I can play strong through blocks. You know, and then it comes down to just continuing the fundamentals of, you know, cutting down my body fat, getting faster off the ball, and because I feel like I can pass rush. That was something that, you know, that the Giants knew I can do coming into the season, which I believe in my limited number of snaps, I've shown I can at least get in the quarterback face.
Yep.
But, you know, and that'll just come with more reps, you know, just getting more comfortable with it. I'm a guy that never goes into an off season really, you know, picking one thing that I have to, you know, really focus on over everything else. I'm a guy that tries to focus on everything evenly. I want to be a well-balanced defensive tackle. I want to be one of the best defensive tackles. So I feel like every area has to be shined.
I like that answer, man. Why do you think you didn't have a lot of playing time this rookie season?
It was just a lot of different things, man. It was like, one, I came into a pretty much loaded backfield when it came to defensive, loaded field when it came to defensive tackles as far as the Giants went. And so I had a lot of, you know, old heads in front of me, you know, older dudes in front of me, and it was hard. That's how I went, to be honest. And I, you know, and credit those guys. They work extremely hard, and they showed me a lot, and I appreciate them, because there was never a time where I would ask a question and it didn't help me. So I appreciate those guys for that. But, you know, then you got Jonathan Hankins, you know, he has a breakout year, so it's hard to steal reps from him. You know what I'm saying? So it was hard to steal reps. It wasn't a lot of reps to go around. Then some of the defenses we play, you know, you might take a defensive tackle off the field. You know, honestly, I'll put the onus on me as far as not playing well enough to be on the field, as far as being well-rounded. I didn't do a good enough job of that, and I'll do a better job next year.
Yeah, I think you should have got more reps than Cohn, but that's just my personal opinion. I ain't gonna let you go there. But what's the main thing you learned so far in being in the NFL?
Be calm, man. You know, a lot of people think it's more than what it is, especially when you're young, you know, coming into this game. I'm at the peak of my profession, you know. I'm going against the best of the best, but everybody's beatable, you know. Everybody's beatable. Everybody has a weakness. You know, it's just football at the end of the day. Like, we get to the point where you overthink the game and you try to over-exaggerate. That's what I did my rookie year. I felt like I overthought it. I looked at what other players were doing and tried to mimic them instead of being the best Jay Bromley. And that's why I fell off at. When I tried to mimic Hankins or mimic Jenkins or try to see what Kuhn did, it wasn't beneficial to Jay Bromley because Jay Bromley's a different kind of player. They know what they drafted, be who you are, you know. And I feel like if I get back to that and focusing on those things, then the sky's the limit for what I can do rather than trying to be anybody else.
Man, if you were Team Bromley before, you better be Team Bromley now, man.
Man, I don't know what you were talking about.
Hey, let
man,
me piggyback off that answer you just gave. What type of player do you consider yourself? Run stopper, penetrator, or both?
I feel like I can do it all. I feel like I'm a guy. I don't like to wait on blocks. You know, with some players, you know, some players are good enough to the point where it doesn't look like they're waiting on blocks because they're good at, like Hankins. It doesn't look like he's waiting on anything because he's a great run stopper. So when he sees it, he's fast enough, quick enough to get in the blockers fast and, you know, be strong. I'm a guy that probably isn't as good with seeing it with my eyes to the where point I can just kind of see it and wait on it and go get it. I have to go get things. And when I go get offensive linemen, I believe I can, you know, I can play effective through them. And but I feel like I'm a well-rounded player, but I just have to focus on the run, really get that down packed. But I feel like I can get to the quarterback against anybody.
Okay. All right. Now, you know, I'm going to ask you about the season, man, and the 7-game losing streak. How was the locker room, and how did Coach Coughlin keep everybody on the right track?
You know what's crazy? I said this to one of my friends, one of my homeboys on another team. It wasn't the losing streak. It wasn't in the locker room. It's hard to win in the NFL. Like, that's one thing you realize. It's really hard to win. Like, the Patriots make it look easy. Certain teams make it look easy, but it's not that easy because we came to work every single day. We came to work and we worked our tails off. Every single week we worked our tails off. It wasn't nothing that you could look back at during the course from Monday to Saturday that said we were going to lose that game. It was just that Sundays the ball went different places. You know what I'm saying? Or you know, they made plays on us. It was crazy, but the locker room never folded. That's why at the end of the year, you know, we were 3-1 in our last 4 games because we were focused and we just kept doing what we always did. And Coughlin was the same way. He was like, man, listen, y'all ain't doing nothing wrong. Y'all just got to, you know, be more precise, you know, on game day. But just keep working hard and everything will fall through.
Okay. Now, in your opinion, what type of coach is Coach Coughlin? Is he strict, funny, serious? And how does he compare to your coaches at Syracuse?
It's very interesting because I had Doug Marrone at the beginning for 3 years, and Coach Coughlin. I mean, Doug Marrone was a spitting image of Coach Coughlin, but just probably a lot more stricter when he first got to Syracuse. Coughlin's he's a pretty laid back guy. I mean, you know, he'll talk to you every now and again, crack a couple jokes every now and again, but you know, he's one of those, like, you know, I said it before in a joking matter. He's like one of those grandpas you really don't want to upset. You know, you want to work for him. He's the guy that you want. He's gonna shoot you straight. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna fool you, and he gonna make sure. You know, like even when I talked to him at the end of the season, he was like, "I'm the type of dude. I kind of profess to what I'm gonna do because I know I'm gonna work hard. I know I'm gonna strive for different things." And he's kind of guy like, "You will." He was like, "You will." He was like, "That's what he says. You will." I'm like, "I got you." He's like, "You will." This kind of guy he is.
So what expectations do you have for yourself and for the team next season?
Next year, you know, God willing, we can be healthy. You know, I believe having the second year as far as that offense goes and just getting better and having the phenomenal weapons that we have around Eli Manning, adding Victor Cruz back to it, that can be something scary, you know, if everybody can stay healthy. And on defense, man, God willing, we can sign back JPP and, whether it be Antrell Roll or, whoever else we add to this defense, and we continue to build on this defensive line with, Spagnuolo as a new defensive coordinator. I'm looking forward to playing for Spagnuolo because I heard, he's a big, get after the quarterback guy. So I'm looking forward to that. The expectation is big, man, as far as my team. As far as myself, I looked at what Hankins did, and it motivated me, man. And I seen his jump from his first year to his second year, and I tell myself, if my goal isn't to smash what he did, then I shouldn't play the game. That's how I look at it. I shouldn't play the game if I don't look to smash what he did.
Okay.
Yeah, especially with the reps you're gonna get.
Huh?
Especially with the reps you're gonna get.
Hopefully, man. That's one other thing I realized, man. A lot of times, you just got to be out there. Like, if you're not out there, you don't even have the opportunity to make those plays. And so, sometimes I watch film, I'll be like, man, I'll make that play. I'll make that play. But, I just got to keep working and stay blessed and keep focused.
Have you met Spagnuolo yet?
I haven't, man. I'm looking forward to meeting him. I was just working out. I worked out twice today, and I was hoping that, maybe I saw him because I never met the guy. But, it'll come sooner than later.
Yeah, of course. I'm sorry, Black, if I skipped over you. I just got last few more questions, and then you can take it away.
You're all good.
Who is the player you learned the most from so far?
Mike Patterson and Colin Jenkins were probably even in that regard because they both were 10-year vets. They both been in the league a long time, had their families, moved around from different teams, here and there. And the one thing they taught me was, try to be as consistent as you can, Like Mike Patterson was probably one of the most consistent players I've ever seen as far as his technique. It doesn't mean that his stats were going to be amazing, but he was just consistently doing his best to do his job. And for a 10-year vet, gave outstanding effort. And if he can do that at 32 or 31, 30, whatever, 22 is easy to do it at, So those things like that. And Jenkins just always teaching me little nuances of the game, just whether it be about stance, looking at offensive linemen's, whether their feet, their hands, understanding how they want to punch you, how they want to grab you. All those things, man, just really focusing on film. It was so many nuances of the game that they just built on from what I already knew.
Okay. Did you battle Richburg a lot in practice?
Of course, man. Me and Richburg, yeah, man. It's like I always get matched up with a center that, like when I was in college with Mackie McPherson, I always get matched up with a center that I always go at it. Me and Richburg always go at it, because he always, playing that left side of the line, or whether we playing center, he's a great guy to go against because he's a good player. So me going against him only made me better, and I hope I made him better. Because honestly, I felt like when I was in practice, I want to be the best. If I'm on the scout team, I want to be the best defensive tackle you win against. You know what I'm saying? I want to be better than the tackle you go against in the game. You know what I mean? I want to be better than them. You know what I'm saying? I want your practice to be harder than your game. So, and that was just what I tried to work on. Sometimes, offensive defensive line, we got into it sometimes, but, that's just what we do.
That's what's up. Good answer. What's your impression of Odb Jr.?
That's my boy, man. That's the truth right there, man. That's the truth if it don't get no realer. Right there. Hey, man, he's a young guy, and just like most rookies, man, he's running on talent. He ain't even learned nothing yet. He's running on talent. And then once he really learns and gets with the coaches and gets with the people that know what they're talking about, man, if he ain't top 10 already, he gonna get there.
That's big praise.
Mm-hmm.
I got a couple more questions, and then Black can take it away.
Mm-hmm.
Can you do one thing for me this upcoming season? Just one thing.
What's that?
I want you to sack Tony Romo, and then after you sack him, I want you to do your sack dance. I don't know if you have one already, but do one.
That is the goal. You got to get to Romo. You can't be a Giant and not want to dream about getting to Romo. That's something I definitely want to do, man. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I get to Roma, I might mess around and do the Dougie or something. I don't know.
Now, that will be good to see. All right, my last question is, we appreciate you coming on the show, man. Will you do the show again in the future?
No problem, man. You guys have been great. Appreciate you for having me.
Thank you. You take it away, Black.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't got much, man. Besides this question here, and it's kind of off kiltered out of your position. You know, with Syracuse, you know, kind of representing the nucleus of the young players on the New York Giants. Do you see Ryan Nassib fitting in this offensive scheme that they're playing now, opposed to the one when he first came in?
If anything, this is Nassib. Did you watch preseason? I'm sorry. Hold on. Hello?
Yeah, we hear you.
Oh, my bad. But if anybody watched preseason, they know that Nassib is not anything to play with.
Yeah, I've been trying to tell these boys. I've been trying to tell them.
Yep. Like he's just in a position where it's a gift and a curse to be behind, you know, Eli Manning. I mean, regardless if the guy goes and throws 10 interceptions in a game, he has 2 Super Bowl rings. What are you really going to do? You know what I mean? When you're put in that position. But if anybody knows anything about football, Nassib can sling it with the best of them. And if anything, this offense helps him because his last 2 years at Syracuse, playing under that offensive coordinator, he was playing that zone read spread kind of offense, you know, so he knows how to run that, you know. He's a better athlete than Eli Manning. So that helps out a lot. He can actually run. So Nassib is a good player, man. He's a great security blanket. That's what I like to say.
Yeah, I just like the fact that, you know what I'm saying, y'all representing the nucleus of the Giants, man. All three, you, Pugh, Nassib. You know what I'm saying? And it's a possibility we might get one more. I'm hoping it's Eskridge. You know what I'm saying?
Man, we need a safety. They won't go get one early, man.
That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping.
Hey, man, bring them home,
that's all I got, man. Yo, I appreciate you, brother, man. For real.
I appreciate you guys for having me.
No problem. Yeah, we got. I got 2 more questions for you. Then we're gonna let you go, man.
Okay.
I should have probably asked you this in the beginning, but what was the first year as an NFL player like for you? And was it everything you expected? And did Ryan Nassib and Justin Pugh help you with the transition from college to the pros?
I mean, they gave their opinions on different things here and there, you know, and it was there whenever I needed them. But as far as the transition from college to the pros, the difference is a whole lot more time on your hands, man. A whole lot of time on your hands. Like, you know, you basically work a 9 to 5 when it comes to you getting in and, you know, taking care of business and then practicing and getting out, you know, and that's a Monday to Friday thing, basically. But you just having that much time on your hands, being young, and, you know, just trying to figure out what to do with that time, to be honest. As far as the transition was, football is football, man. It was just a whole lot longer. Like, it was like the season would just go on and on. So we played, especially my rookie year, I played 5 preseason games instead of 4, you know, and then the 16-game season, you know, we didn't get the opportunity to go to the playoffs, but it's still a long season. Just adjusting to that and trying to keep your body right throughout the course of the season.
All right. So I got this last question for you. Since we all Giants fans here, can we expect to see you in the Pro Bowl next season?
Hey, man, I can put that goal on a piece of paper, and I'll tell you what, I'll work my tail off to get to it, man. And if I miss, man, I'm miss real close. If God bless me to be healthy.
That's all we want to hear, man. So we appreciate you coming on, man, and
appreciate you, brother.
I appreciate it, man. Shakedown, man. Let's do it.
All right, man. Thank you.
Have a good day.
All right. Yeah, you too, brother. Peace.